Hey, welcome back. Let's finish this up. Day 10. We got a lot of work to do. So we're at 37 victory points and we need 52. I do this math every time, and so let's see, that's 10 gets us to 47, and then we need 5 more, right? So we need 15 victory points. So we need 5 victory points a day. The 4 victory points is not going to cut it anymore. We've only seen one secondary target so far, and we've gone through quite a few targets. I'm trying to grab the target deck. This is it. The last card here is on the bottom. So we have, we're going to be able to draw 5 of these. I think there's at least one more scramble. So we're probably going to get screwed with the scramble. So I need to get way more than 5, at least one of these days, because the scramble is going to probably force us to take 3 or 4. So anyways, I'm going to put these right here and we're going to draw. Let's start. We get to at least get to draw 5. Here's an improvement. It's the A50 AWACS. It's only 4 victory points, which I say only because, 4 is the average. That large, by the way, is bad. It's in the FAQ. I have to look up what it is again, but I think it's something like almost like dispersed, like you ignore the first hit, I think is what large is. So you have to hit it more than once, or that can't be right. I'll have to look it up. But anyways, I don't really want to do this, but it says bandits gain a +1 to attack rolls. But if I do it, I get to discard 1 improvement target. If I can find a secondary mission, I definitely want to do this one, because then I can discard the other one. But we need a secondary if we're going to do that, because that's only 4 victory points. So here's card 2. This is another one that, see, it's only 2 victory points, but I get to discard an improvement target. This one we are for sure not going to do, so I'm going to discard that one. So now here's our third one. It's an airfield, so we're going to have a lot of bandits on this one. It's a 4 victory point, which becomes 5 victory points. This one is a doable one. If I do this, though, this improvement stays in. That improvement causes all of those bandits to get +1 attack against us. That's horrible. But it is at least the 5 victory points we need to win the game. So I've drawn 3. Do I want to keep drawing or not? My dilemma is, this is a good card. However, this card makes this card a lot more difficult because I'm drawing a bandit every turn on this one. It is a -1 stress, so it's not bad. If I do the overkill, I get to choose to remove any 3 bandits on the next target. All of it is good. It is the 5, it's the droids we're looking for. It's got 5 victory points. I'm going to go for a 4th one. It's a scramble. Man, that was the worst one. Okay, the good news is the scramble is worth 5 victory points. That's the good news. The bad news is this is going to go into effect and all bandits get +1 attack against me, and I lost this target, which was another 5 victory points I needed to win the game. And then, of course, I have 4 cards left. If I draw all 4 of these, I could theoretically reshuffle those. But that's our situation. We must do this one. And let's take a peek again. The dial movements are awesome, but we're full moved. We're going to be drawing 4 bandits, and then there's 6 objectives, which are Su-24s. Those are bombers, so they don't attack back. It's these guys, and you can see they have a +1 on them. It's not really focusing very well, but there's a... Why are you not focusing? There. I'm going to do manual focus. This is so ridiculous. There we go. There we go. Okay. So all I'm trying to say is there's 6 of them. So there's 2, 4, 6. These are turkey shoots. They don't shoot back. So the 4 bandits around the edge are the only thing we have to worry about. We get to bring 6 planes. This is target 36. So I'm gonna look up here. Target 36 is right here. So there's a waypoint 0. It's a stress 1 mission. They do get +1 to their attack, whatever bandits we draw. Rogue and Druid are both coming along. So I can ECM jam the crap out of them. And I get to bring 7 aircraft to this mission. So we're gonna do SWAT and Boss. I know those are heavy bombers, but we're gonna bring our 3 F-15s, all 3 of them. And we're gonna do both of the F-16s as well. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It just makes sense. I'm just getting experience points to all my guys to push them to legendary. The only one, Kusanagi, is not getting a lot of love. And of course, we're leaving our wild weasels out. They're sight-only targets, and there's no sights theoretically in this mission. So we don't get to draw the bandits before we go. But here we go. First one. Give the flight leader 1 additional situational awareness. I need to figure out who the flight leader is. And the flight leader token is over here. Okay, highest promoted person. Marita is a veteran. We can make it Marita. So Marita actually has 1 situational awareness. And so what they're saying is that Marita now has 2. So I can put a 2 there. As for the others, there's 1 on Boss. I mean, I can get a bunch of these out. I haven't been worrying too much about it, but in this case, it matters because I want to be able to go fast. Bun Bun has 1. Now, Andy is fast, so I can just put this on him. It's just a skill, but it's just to show that he's fast already. And then Andy also has 1. So he's not only fast, but he has a situational awareness. Now you might notice there's 2 different types of tokens. It's just because I have them all mixed together from all my games. If I ever sold one of these leader games, I'm screwed because I would have to figure out like how many components to take out of my combined stuff. Just looking, Bishop has 1 as well. So he has 1, Stool does not, and SWAT does not. All right, so there's our lineup. There is no weight point penalty. Everybody's taking an ECM pod. And everybody's just going to load up on AIM-7s, including my heavy bombers. The heavy bombers will take 1 bomb just in case we get an event. So I'm going to have 2 bombs with me. But so basically, everybody has 7 AIM-7s. And then the heavy bombers, I mean, my gosh, they take 12 weight points. If I have an ECM pod and then a bomb, they have 10 AIM-7s. We have so many. It's not even worth getting them out. And then, okay, now we're going to draw the bandits. And we get 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one is a Su-27, that stays. This one is a MiG-23, it stays. Oh, I was supposed to say where we are. It's usual, we're gonna come in from the bottom here. This one is a MiG-23, it stays. And then this one is an SU-22, which means it comes out, and we replace it with one of these yaks. Yakety yak, don't talk back. Okay, so that's our situation. Now our intel adjustment lets us destroy 2 sites and 2 bandits. I mean, it just makes the mission that much easier. So I'm going to kill this one and this one. And then we do over target. Sites and bandits suffer -1 on die rolls against low aircraft over target. That's only over target. We're not going to actually go to target, so it's worthless. These 2 still get a +1 against us. And I think I destroyed the one in the front. I'm going to destroy the one in the back. Why? Because I go fast and this one's in range. I can hit it on turn 1. So Andy goes fast. We're going to shoot 2 with Andy. So I'm going to represent that by putting a 5 here. And that 6 more than obliterates this one. So there's only 1 left. And we're going to come up here to turn 2. And then this one's going to come over here to come at us. And these guys don't shoot back. And then Andy goes fast. We have all these SAs. We could go fast with all of them, but I can shoot 2 more with Andy. This one's destroyed. And then now I have 6 of these, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planes. So there's 6 rolls. These ones might have hit, they might have missed, who cares? There's 2 hits. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be so lazy. Let's do this properly, I guess. Let's start with the first one, which is the flight leader. He gets a +4. I'm going to shoot 2 missiles. Okay, he reduces 1. And then the next one is a Bun +4. Then that one's destroyed. Next one is Andy, who went fast. He'll go again slow, just spend his SA. Shoot 2 more. That's a 10. This is reduced. He only has 1 left. And then we're gonna go this, by the way, since everybody's shooting 2, they're down to 5. Then we go to Boss. He rolled 2 6s. This one's destroyed. Boss, by the way, has 10 of them. SWAT also has 10. That 5 destroys this one. And then we go to Bishop, who has a +3. There's a 5. So that's destroyed. Again, it was not necessary. It was just, this is total turkey shoot. So we're going to go home. Lose 1, 2, or 3 SO if you did not destroy the target. Lose 2, 4, or 6 instead. Well, we have plenty of SO, so I was prepared for that event because that screwed us last time. We started with 7. We started with 11 because we gained 4. I'm going to spend 3 and we're going to finish with 8. This was target 36. And we get 5 victory points for this one. So that puts us at 42. The good news is that this one didn't hurt us in terms of accomplishing our final goal. And forgive me, I'm just making sure all my targets, as I destroy them, I'm keeping them in numerical order so it makes cleanup a little quicker. Okay, so you can see we have our 42. Here's a peek at the scores. 42 puts us in the good category, but not yet great. We need 10 points to get to great in 2 days. It's 2 experience points for everybody on the mission. The mission is very simple. We just have a lot of guys we're giving experience points to. So let's hammer through it. The stress is only 1 for the day. So very low stress mission. We'll start with Merida, and I'm only going to pull them out if they level up. Merida is going to lose a stress, which he has none. Merida is currently at 5, and he's up to 7. Not enough. Oh no, we destroyed 3 bandits. So he does level up. Merida is our first legendary. So let's get him out. So 2-1-1, and then there you go. 2-1-1-3, and Merida's now fast. Merida is a rock star. He levels up really fast as well, as you can tell, because he was the first one to get there, and he's really good. Okay, Bun Bun has a cool of 2, so he's going to go down 1 stress to 1. Bun Bun here has 2 experience points, gets 2 more for 4. And in case you forgot, Merida got an extra because of the skill where he kills extra bandits. Or if 3 bandits are killed, he gets more stuff. There were definitely 3 bandits killed in that mission. Boss needs 8 experience points, has no stress at all, doesn't gain any, is currently sitting with 2, so not going to make it. So Boss has 4. SWAT needs 6 experience points, no stress, not going to gain any. He's at 5. Bishop is, again, too cool, so he's going to lose his stress. He's now at 0, and he needs 7. Bishop is at 2, so now he's at 4. And then Stool, he needs 5. And he's going to level, but he's only going to go to Veteran. He's not even a Veteran yet. And he's going to have 1 left over. And so Stool finally levels up. And here you go. He was green, so he had a longer way to go. And so he's 2-0-2 minus 1. And now he's 2-1-3-0. All right, continuing, we have Druid and Rogue. Both of them have no stress. And Druid is going to go up to 3, and Rogue is going to become legendary. I'm sorry, I had it backwards. Rogue goes to 3. No, I'm sorry. Man, I'm so... Druid is a Veteran with 1 left over. I was looking at Rogue the whole time and kept mentioning his name. So you can see we use this guy a lot. 2-0-3-2-3 and is now 2-0-3-2-3. I think the thing that changes is his stress bands got a little bit better. And he's got 7 more he needs to do. So I went very fast. I mean, just because these are such simple missions, I don't want to spend a lot of time. It takes more time to move the pieces around than it does to resolve. But yes, the experience points were glorious. Sending 7 planes on a mission like that. It's nice. Okay. So we move on to day 11. And mind you, we have this A50 here, which is a perfectly good target if we can find a secondary. Also, it's got a nasty one where it gives the bandits +1 to their attack. Not the best. I'm going to grab the target cards again. There's only 4 of them left, and then we'll have to shuffle the discard pile. And we already know that the discard pile only has 1 card that we want that has 5 victory points on it. Everything else is trash. Well, I mean, they're probably fun missions, but you get what I mean. All right, so let's go with the first card. So this is a guided missile frigate. Look at that, only 1 victory point. We definitely don't want this card, even though it's cool. This one is an aircraft carrier. It's only 3 victory points, but a great... everybody loves sinking aircraft carriers. I certainly do. But it's only... Well, technically it's 4, but we'll hold on to that one. Surface Action Group. This one is only 3 victory points. We can't do that one. And then the last one, and we're getting no secondaries, folks. A Guided Missile Destroyer, which is only 1 victory point. So we're in trouble. Okay, so technically, these ones that we drew aren't discarded yet. So we've drawn 4 cards. All of them are naval, as you can see. These ones only have 1 victory point, and this one's 2. Probably not the best to go after those. I get to shuffle and draw 1 more. And I'm going to look real quick. I don't think any of these are secondaries. They are not. So this is, even with our bonus victory point, it's really hard to win this one. I have... I mean, if I'm going to do anything, it'll be the AWACS, just to get rid of the improvement card. This is brutal. I don't know how I'm going to get 10 victory points out of this. It's impossible. There's only 1 card left in the entire target deck that's worth 5. So this is what I get at, like the balance of this game. There's no secondaries, none. We did the one and only secondary that was in the game. And there's not enough victory points to even get a great status. I need 10 more, and I can only get 9. Now, it is possible, like some of these event cards let you spend SO points to get a victory point, which I think actually we did in this campaign. So technically, we would have been even shorter had I not done that. But anyways, so we're going to shuffle a final time here, and let's draw the last card, which is the 5 victory point card. So I am grateful for that, although the timing is bad. I wanted that to be tomorrow. I wanted to destroy this one so we can get rid of the bandit bonus. It also gets rid of this. The aircraft carrier is not bad, but it's not enough points. So if I ever have like one that has an overkill on it and you get extra points from that, that would be something. This one does not give you extra points for an overkill. So I have to do this one because it's 5 victory points and I got to take the 5. Even though ideally I should do this one first. I get to bring 8 aircraft. Yeah, so let's get cracking. We got to do 6. So SWAT and Boss are coming. These are my 2 heavy bombers, like usual. And then we're going to bring our 3 F-15s, like usual, because we're going to do a lot of air-to-air with this. There are some sights that we get to draw before we start this. So 4 sights all around. And 1 in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 in the middle. So the 1 in the middle is we need to take care of. This is a no sight. Nothing burger. No sight. A really, really nasty one. I do get to destroy 2 sights. So you could probably already see that this is working out well. And getting back to selecting my planes, I get to bring 8 of them. I'm doing 2 heavy bombers, 3 of the F-15s. I'm going to bring both of the F-16s. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to bring both of the ECM jammers, which doesn't count. And then I have a choice. I could bring a Wild Weasel, which is why I wanted to see the bandits first. We're going to bring Kusanagi. So we've got another bomber. Target 7 is really far away. So this has got a weight point penalty of 3 and a stress of 3. So this is not the the best target. I have 8 SO points. I'm going to spend 6 to get that veteran KC-135 again. So we're starting with 11. I'm going to spend 6. I'm sorry, we're starting with 8. I'm going to spend 6, and we're going to end up with 2, potentially. And just a reminder, what that does is that lets me have 4 aircraft come in with no weight point penalty and no stress penalty. And then the 4 are going to be these are my 3 bombers. And then who else should I give it to? I'm just looking real quick. The 3 bombers for sure. Andy only has 1 cool, so we'll give it to him. So everybody else has 2 cool at least, so they can handle the stress better. All right, so these 4, I'll set them off to the side. They have no weight point penalty. Now, these guys up here all have the same weight points of 8. There's a penalty of 2 with the ECM pod, which is 3. So that means they all have 5 AIM-7s. And they're all taken air to air. Andy has 7 AIM-7s. I'm going to put that there. And then these guys have bombs, but these 2 have 12 weight points, which they technically have 11. So they're going to have these 3 weight bombs times 3. And we're going to have 2 sets of those, right? 3 weight bombs times 3. And that only gets them to 9. And then they're going to have a 2 weight bomb times 1. If I can find another one. There we go. So they're going to do that. And then the naval bomber, he still has a nice air to ground. He only carries 6 weight points. ECM makes it 5. So he'll bring a 3 and also a 2. But he only has 1 of each. So those are our bombs. Everybody else has AIM-7s. And I know I'm being really lazy here, but I just really, some of me wants to wrap this up. But I don't think this is going to be that hard of a mission, to be honest. The bandits could cause some problems. But let's go ahead and go. We're going to do our target card. Destroying this mission's target gains 1 additional VP. I did not do this. Like if you were watching One Stop Co-op Shop, they stage this stuff. I mean, they do it because they're trying to teach you the game. Please don't take that as a negative criticism. But I did not do that. And I knew that there were cards that gave you more. But anyways, we drew it. We drew some really nasty ones earlier in the campaign. So this is a little bit of karma. I don't believe in karma, but for board game purposes, we'll call it that. Okay, so we get an extra victory point for destroying this target. I am going to keep that right over here. Next up, we place our aircraft, choose altitude, and then we're going to place the bandits and then do... So I have it very busy down here in the southwest corner. So we're going to place our aircraft high, and we're going to put them up here in this corner. So that way it's far away from the action and all the cards I have on the board. I'm like using the board as like a hoarder. I got all these things that are not even relevant to the mission on the board. Okay, so now that I did that, let's see. We determine and place bandits. So as you can see here, there's 2 bandits on each approach and then 2 in the middle. That's a lot of bandits. So we're going to do, so I dropped 3 of them, but we'll do 2 there. This one goes up here, and then this one. And let me get rid of the no sights because I don't want to confuse that with my bandits. And then 2 here, and 2 in the south. And then this one's going in the middle. And then, what did we say? 2 in the middle. All right, so let's do the left side first. So this is a Su-22, which is out and replaced by a Yak. This is an Su-27, which is very nasty, 4 Ranger. That one stays in. This one up here, out. This one That's a MiG-23, which is in. And this is out, no bandit. This one is a MiG-29, which is in, and it's a nasty one. That's a sight. Here's a MiG-21, which is out and replaced with a Yak. Here's a MiG-29 that stays in, and it's nasty. And I just realized I'm actually up here in that approach. Okay, and then in the middle, this is a no bandit, and this one is a no bandit. Okay, so we have 3 nasty ones. Now we get to do our intel adjustment. I get to destroy 2 sites and 2 bandits. So this one for sure is gone, and the one in the back here is gone. This one in particular, look at that, it's a 158. That's a really nasty one. So right now we have one guy that can hit us. It's this one. Well, actually, technically this one can too, but we're going fast, so I'm not worried about him. The other one I can't do anything about, at least for turn 1. So now we're going to draw our over target. Each pilot flying an air experimental. We don't have that. And so then Foxhound ER, I don't think any of them had it. They don't. Turn 1. Okay, so these 2 are in range. I do have SA points, lots and lots of them, in fact. So we should probably square that up. Bun Bun has 1. Like, we just did this, right? This exercise, but we should still do it because it is going to be important to get through this mission. Bishop has 1, and Stool now has 1 because he promoted. Andy is fast, right? So we're going to put that on Andy to show he's fast. And then he also has 1. And then SWAT Boss has 1. Okay, I'm going to give Flight Leader to Boss this time so he can share that SA with somebody else. I don't need him to shoot first. For his bombs, Kusanagi has 1. I forgot he also has 1. There we go. Okay, so like I said, this guy has 7. These guys all have 5 because of the weight point penalties. We'll have to figure out their plus minus, all that stuff. But Andy is fast, and Marita is also fast. So I can put this on Marita to show that he's fast. That should be it for the fast guys. All right, so we do draw 1 bandit each turn. So I'm going to do that right now. And so here's the bandit. It is a Yak 38, which is going to go right there. So not a threat. We are going to go fast. We're going to try to take these 2 out. So I'm going to go to 4 for Marita. And then let's roll. I'm just rolling 1 die, and Marita's going to attack this guy here. Marita gets a +4. So this guy is obliterated. So he's out. And then Andy is going to drop to 6. And he's going to shoot the only other one we can reach. He rolled a 1. Andy gets a +1, +2. That makes it a 3. And then this makes it a 5. Andy missed. Now, I am allowed to choose to spend an SA to let someone else go, because you do these 1 at a time. So I will do that, and I will go ahead and do it for Bun Bun, for example. And so Bun Bun's now down to 4. And we're going to shoot at the same guy. There we go. And this guy's destroyed. And this is one of the special ones, so got to throw it in the other cup. All right, we did the best we could. We got to endure him, so I'm going to roll for ECM. He is going to get through. And so let's see who he's targeting. I rolled a 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He is going after Rogue, because this is 9 and 10, right? So he's going after Rogue. He gets a -2 already against Rogue. So Rogue will take 1 stress to evade. We rolled a 2, so that's a nothing burger. He missed. All right, that's it for turn 1. So we're going to move forward to here, and then move it to turn 2. Everybody who has range 1 is going to move forward, so he's coming up. So is him. He's going to stay where he is. This site is a nothing burger, so I'm just going to take it off the board. And we have 3 that are coming at us, and I got to draw 1 more bandit for start of turn 2. So the 1 more bandit is a no bandit, so nothing. So again, this guy is first or fast, so we're going to shoot. He's going to go down to 3, and we're going to shoot the guy back here who's the biggest threat, and I got him. Then Andy is also fast, so we're going to drop him down to 5 missiles and shoot. I rolled a 7. These are both the same, at least I think they are. This one is not part of the special pile, so I'll kill that one. There's 1 more left who could shoot at us, but I'm going to go ahead and just spend another SA point for Bishop. And Bishop is going to shoot 1. So now he's down to 4. And we rolled a 2, and Bishop gets a +3, which is 5, and this has a +2 in it, which makes it 7. So we got it. And then this I could reduce to 4, because that represents all those guys. Actually, no, I apologize. Stool here still has 5. We've cleared the field. So we're going to move forward 1, go to turn 3. Let's draw our bandit. And we got, what is he? A MiG-29. So a really nasty one, but he's right in front of us. So we can go fast. This guy will shoot. Andy will. And he's down to 4. We rolled a 3. Andy gets a +2, which makes it 5. Andy missed. So then we'll go to Mojito or Marita. And we're going to go ahead and go him, because he's also fast. He rolled a 1. He adds 4, which makes it a 5. He also missed. Jeez Louise. All right, then we're going to do Stool. He's going to spend his SA point. Stool will shoot 2 of them, because we're getting annoyed with these poor rolls. And there we go. I rolled 2 2s. Stool adds 4. So 2 + 4 is 6. That is enough to destroy it. A 1 would have been a big fat miss. And I just find it funny that I still rolled poorly. It's just that he was good enough with his skills. And look at our pile of doom. This is all the stuff we've destroyed. Okay, last but not least, we are over target. So I'm going to go low. This is turn 4. Draw 1 more bandit. And we drew an Su-27. Oh, a nasty one. This is range 0. Now, you remember my trick. I did this in a previous campaign. Only the bombers are over target. All the fighters stayed back. You can separate your guys. I always keep them together for ECM purposes, but I don't need to do that. So then I can just shoot with this guy. I rolled a 1, so he missed. I'm going to shoot with him. I'm just going to shoot both of my final missiles with Marita. And there we go. We destroyed him. So that's why I did that. So, because the AIM-7s don't have a range of 0. You have to be 1 or more away. So my guys are separated technically, with the ECM jammers staying with the... Well, I could have split them even. So it doesn't matter. No one's shooting at me. Why I obsess over little details that don't matter, I don't know why. Okay, so now we got to destroy things. So I'm going to roll 3 dice, and then the red die represents the extra bomb. So we're going to roll 3 of these and 1 of those. This is Boss, and Boss has a +3. Yes, he has a +3. So here we go. So this is 3 hits, 3 hits, 3 hits, miss. So that's 9 hits. I only need 10. And SWAT gets a +4, and he's rolling the same things. And I can tell you that with a +4, he's automatic 1 hit with all 3 of these bombs. So he's automatically 3 hits without even rolling. So we done. We got it. Target destroyed. Then we're going to go home. 1 random. Pilot is ineligible for the next mission. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, it's SWAT. Okay, he's not eligible for the next mission, which is the final mission. That blows, but nothing I can do. So, let's get everything off. Get this out of the way. It's taking me longer to get the stuff off than it was to win the mission. Okay, so this was a 5 victory point, target 7. Okay, 5 victory points. Where am I at here? It's actually 6 victory points because we got this. That is what's going to probably save our bacon. So target 7. We have 2 SO points left. We get 6 victory points, so we are up to 48. So a 4 victory points will win it for us. So we have our mission. We're good to go. All right, and then we should do experience. Everybody's getting 2. The stress on this one is super low. No. Stress on this one's 3. Except for these 4 guys. They're not getting any stress. Which sucks because one of them is ineligible for tomorrow, but everybody else is. So let's start with Bun Bun. Bun Bun has 1 stress, or 2 cool. So he's going to gain 1. So he's up to 2. And Bun Bun is going to have 6, needs 7 to get promoted, 1 away. Then Marita has 2 cool, so is going to gain 1 stress. And Marita is already legendary. So Marita was the flight leader. I think I might have screwed up a little bit there, but he had to be the flight leader. Bishop. 2 cool. So 1 stress for Bishop. And then he has 4 experience. He needs 7. He's 1 away. Then we have Stool. Going to gain 1 stress. And Stool needs 9. I know he doesn't have 9. He's got 1, so he's up to 3 now. None of these guys are getting legendary. Andy, who needs 11. Fat Chance and Hades, he's going to have 11. He only has 1 cool, but he doesn't get any stress. He actually loses a stress. And Andy has 2 out of the 11 that he needs. And then we go to SWAT, who's not going to be available for the next mission. SWAT is going to be legendary. So not available for the next mission, but he will get the legendary. So he's going to be 2, 1, 3, 3. That's a shame, but we at least got him there. And then boss might be the same story. Nope. Boss needs 2 more experience points. He's up to 6. No stress for boss. No stress for Kusanagi either. Kusanagi, we didn't use very much. It's the problem with these naval bombers is I hold on to them and then I never use them. He is going to level up to veteran with 1 left over. And won't get any stress, but let's get the cards out. So here you can see it's a 0, 1, 1, 2. And now it's a 1, 1, 2, 2. It's actually a very good pilot. It just, we didn't bring him on many missions. The weight points are only 6 for this pilot. So we do get SO points for choosing him. And then Rogue and Druid again. They both need 7 experience points to level up. They both have no stress and they're not going to get any. So, yeah, it's not happening. So this one's getting to 5 and this one's getting to 3. So, okay. So we have 2 legendaries of our whole crew. I thought we were getting a lot of extra experience points, and to be honest, we really weren't. So that's a long campaign, and we still didn't, we only got 2. And it's on the very last day. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess I did spread it around. Kusanagi didn't go on very many missions. Duo and Turkey went on quite a few. I mean, they were our noob in green. Stool was a green. So the fact that he didn't make it was mostly for that reason. Andy started skilled, but he still needed 19 points and he didn't get it. Anyways, that card that gave us the extra victory point was what we needed to get to the great rating. I don't enjoy games that require sheer luck like that. I think I saw somebody quote Dan Verson himself that a great should be something that's rare. And so I get maybe that's why they made it higher than possible if you just play a normal game. I'm not sure how, like, my feelings about it is I don't like it. A great is something you should be able to achieve without relying on pure luck. I don't like that in a game. So I'm really grateful that we drew the right card. Don't get me wrong. In fact, that was awesome. It's almost like rolling 2 10s when you needed it. It just, I'm not very excited about the fact that, like, I'm glad we're going to be able to do it so I can prove on YouTube that I was able to beat this in expert mode on at the great evaluation. I mean, I shouldn't get my ducks in a row until I win, but I can tell you right now, I'm not drawing anything. We're just going to do this one, which is an air-to-air campaign. It's going to get me 4 victory points, and it's going to get me a win. It's a -1 turn. I do need to look up what large is, though. Give me a second. Okay, so the large keyword is like dispersed. I just got confused because aim 7s only do 1 hit. But the way it works is they ignore the first hit in a mission. So basically they have 2 hit points is how you should look at it. So it's a bandit with 2 hit points is the way those larges work. And there's 2 of them, A50s. I know they're in my little bomber bucket here. Let me find them. So here we go. There's 1. And I always get confused when it says 2 times A50. Does that mean that there's only 2 of them, or does that mean there's 2 tokens? And I'm just looking to see if we even have another A50 token, which I do not. So that answers that question. It's only 2 of them, not 2 tokens worth. I guess that makes sense. I just let myself get confused about easy things, I guess. So anyways, 2 A50s. And then we're going to be drawing a whole bunch of bandits. It's -1 turn. That's not an issue. I can only bring 5 aircraft. I can't bring SWAT. Also not an issue. We're going to bring Boss, the 3 F-15s for sure, and then the 2 F-16s, which means I'm not bringing Boss. So we'll put Boss back. These are all my air-to-air guys. And then Druid and Rogue are going to come along for ECM support. All I have to do is win. And we get the great rating. This is... and just bear in mind that I get to destroy 2 sites and 2 bandits. So everybody's going to be loading up AIM 7s and nothing else. So don't worry about that. They do gain a +1 to their attack rolls. So we're going to have to worry about that. Let's draw the target card. Inflict 1 stress on all EW pilots. So that's Druid and Rogue. Sure, I'll give them each 1 stress. It's not going to matter. They got this. This is going to be a very easy mission with our skill levels and everything going on, unless these events really ruin my day. Then we're going to draw the bandits. So as it said, 1 around the edges. So here we go. 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 3 in the middle. 1, 2, and 3. This one's a no bandit. That's a no bandit. That's a no bandit. That's just making it even easier. This one is a MiG-31, which is a nasty one. We finally found one of those. But guess what? We don't use those in this mission, so we're going to replace that with an easy yak. Don't talk back. And I was supposed to say where we're coming from. Well, without me saying so, I go to my usual spot, right? Which is this one. And then this is a Su-27. That stays, and it's nasty. That's a no bandit. This one is a MiG-29. That one also stays. These 2 are nasty. And guess what? I get to destroy 2 bandits. Boom. This is the only one that's even in my way, and he has a range of 1. So I can shoot him right now. I got all these guys. They all go fast. I'm not going to do this. I mean, come on, folks. I have... where is this mission? 48. How many weight point penalty do I have? I have 48 is a 1 weight point penalty. Sure, I get a +4. That's a 3 + 4 is 7. This is gone. You know, turn 2. I just got to destroy 2 of these. They have 2 hit points each. So I just shoot 2 missiles at them. 9 and 3. That's got a +4. So I destroyed 1. It's so easy. It's not even funny. I'm grateful for some of these easy missions because we had like a really hard one at the early of the campaign. And that one would have been hard even now with the expert skills. It is true. Some of these are squishier than others. I don't have a problem with it. It's just, I you know, for purposes of this video, I just don't even want to continue. It's a win. We got our 4 victory points. And so this is target 48. With our 4 victory points, we hit 52, which is exactly enough. So there you go. There's all of our victory points. We got 4 more for 52. And I'll let you look at the final tally there. That's a great. And it was not possible unless we took that event that gave us that victory point. Like, we even took the special condition that gives us an extra victory point for every target. We took that, and we still didn't have enough. I just don't like that balance. And like I said, if I can take more than 1 special condition, which I know you can house rule it, and I did house rule it where this special condition is always free. I just don't like that. I just still think that the game should be balanced so I can get a great without having to do hokey stuff like this. So yes, this one is always free, like we said. I took this one because that just gives me massive SO points, and getting an improvement early is a nice thing to destroy, because when you destroy an improvement, it's out of the game. So having an improvement drawn right away, I'm totally down with that because I can get rid of it out of the deck. Heck, if there was one that says start with a scramble, I would take that one. The other one, so like this one is just suicide. Sights and bandits add +1 to all rolls. I wouldn't take it because I'm like scratching and clawing to get a -1 to them. This one here, you may search through the target deck and select a primary target. You may fly this target as if it was secondary, in addition to any targets drawn on the first day. The only reason why that's an issue, now on the first day, that's sort of nice because being able to fly a secondary means all your pilots are going to get experience points on day 1. But the issue with it, you do get the extra victory points, which is necessary to get these great ratings. That's why I'm bringing it up. But day 1 is when you got noobs and you're not very good on day 1. This is the only other one. Each enemy armor, infantry, and artillery take 2 extra hits to destroy. They're worth 1 more VP for destruction, but it's very specific targets. Now, here's what I'm trying to say with all this. If I can take unlimited of these, then we can add them so we can get these extra victory points. But that's not, I think most of you agree that that wasn't the intent of the rules, at least as they're written. I don't think any designer has actually weighed in to clarify, because I seem to be the only one that's having an issue with this. Okay, before I wrap this up, because I know we're done, I just want to add that the Fulcrum Leader, like I said, the shipping notice did come out. They're still in pre-label, meaning I don't have an actual delivery date. It's Wednesday night right now, so I'm hoping to maybe get it Friday or Saturday. It's going to depend on DVG getting that thing out the door first thing tomorrow. Or maybe even tonight, and it just didn't update on the tracker. Eagle Leader. We've done, 3 campaigns now? 4? This is my 4th one. It's great. I know people are calling me crybaby and all this stuff because I complain about certain things. I just don't think that person understands the nuance of, you can really enjoy something, but still, want certain things to be better. It's a great game. I have no issue. This campaign is a mess because the numbers are all wrong. So you have to do the mental math. I don't enjoy that. And there's another one, by the way, that has the same problem. It's the one that has Hokkaido in it. Defense of Hokkaido. I don't remember where it is. I'd have to go look for it. But they both have this issue. Those are things that just, I don't know. I'm sure when I make my first game, I will make mistakes like this. I just hope and I pray that somebody slows down enough to playtest, or at least trust somebody else to playtest, to catch for mistakes like this. And then that is me my last comment. And I know some people have joined watching this channel because I spoke up in the BGG forum. Again, Board Game Geek is toxic. And I did speak up because I just really felt that some things needed to be said that, I know that DVG is defending, or at least certain people at DVG are defending the mistakes. I'm going to say this with as loving of a heart as possible. We all have the same goal here. I want DVG to succeed because DVG makes great games. They do. I have that 1500 game. I don't really care for, it's really funny because as soon as I say they make great games, I think about the one game I didn't like. They make good games. The Field Commander games are great. Some of them are better than others. I didn't really care for the Rommel one, but the Napoleon one is masterclass. And I really like Nimitz. I know they screwed it up and the second edition had some issues, but they listened to the feedback and they did fix it. The Warfighter games I'm not a fan of. I keep trying to get into them, and then the Warfighter Fantasy just really ruined my day. I just don't like Warfighter Fantasy at all. I don't like the decisions they made. Those are trash. I get the Warfighter Modern, which I still have, by the way. I own Warfighter Modern. You never see me play it. I actually think that one's decent. I didn't like Warfighter World War II, but I'm digressing. I love DVG. Let's just put it that way. These leader games, again, a lot of them are very similar, but they're all good. I engaged in the toxicity of Board Game Geek, and I have received personal communications from people who were like, you should, you put them in their place. I'm just going to say to DVG and to some of these people, I want DVG to succeed. I am well aware that some of these issues are easy to overcome. The Aces rulebook was missing from the Aces expansion and the base game, right? It's an egregious error. Like, how can you miss something like that, right? So I do share that opinion. Like, how can you miss something so easy? This campaign sheet is a mess. It's got targets on it that don't even exist. And then they're like, okay, we'll just correct it, which I did. And then now all the numbers are screwed up as well. The only way to fix that is you got to print a new sheet. Am I willing to pay $20 to get a errata? I am. Because to me, I'll spend $20 at a local bar visiting some buddies, or I'll spend $20 at a movie theater for just 2 hours of a movie. I will pay DVG $20 to fix these errata issues. I want a campaign sheet that has all the correct numbers on it, and I will pay for it. And in fact, I would pay them an extra $10 if they get rid of the damn Comic Sans font. Some of the Greek pilots have two. Where's the Greeks at? Here they are. So these Greek pilots here. Let's get to them. There is F-102 with 4 wake points. Like, some of these guys just have such low wake points. It's horrible. There's these Corsairs with 8. And we're going to get to them. Here they are. The F-4 Phantom. 2 wake points. So that's horrible. And it's not even like you don't even gain any SO points for it, right? Well, that's a typo. That should be, I think, 6 or 8. 6. It should be, well, it's whatever the other Phantoms are. It's in the errata. So this is clearly wrong. And it's printed on the card. Like, the only way to fix this is to print a new card. Or to remember. And that's a hard thing to remember. There's 250 pilots in the game. But all of these are broken. Is it the end of the world? No. But I still think, and this is getting to my message that I'm saying with a loving heart, because I want DVG to succeed. You guys can't, defend yourself against that. It's a mistake. You were supposed to QA your cards. You didn't. You can say, well, and I'm going to pick on Ben here, because Ben said he gave some kind of thing about how we have 1,300 cards in the game, and there was only 20 errors on 20 cards, and so that's a error rate of less than 1% or whatever nonsense he said. Okay, I spent my entire career in the QA world, quality assurance. So I think that's part of the reason why this is such a passionate thing for me, and this is partly why I nitpick, and I know which mistakes can get you and which mistakes should have been found. Because I spent 4 years in the semiconductor industry, burn-in testing SDRAM chips. I spent almost 10 years testing implantable pacemakers and defibrillators. And I was in charge of the RMA, which is the returned products, so the products that failed in the field. So I had to do QA on that to try to identify what the problems were and work with the engineers to improve the design based on what we learned from the failures. And then now I've been 14 years in my current industry. And that's not to count, I worked for the Federal Reserve Bank in charge of their quality assurance for Fed ACH transactions. Worked for Wells Fargo. I was in charge of their debit card fraud quality assurance. I was in charge of, actually, Tastefully Simple, if you know that company, of their IT QA group. I'm not trying to brag here, but I'm trying to lay out that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to quality assurance. And I've been spending 14 years. I was doing QA for most of those 14 years, maybe 10 of them. But for the last 5 years, I've been in project management, so I do bigger things now. I don't just do QA. All I'm trying to say is that these are things that you should catch. And just a modicum of discipline. And you don't catch it. And you haven't caught it. Like, I own many of your games. This is a very consistent problem. And my only thing is I'm not being mean and cruel about it. I just think that you need help. So you should get help. I am offering my help. I will play test your games. I will not put them on YouTube. I will sign an NDA if I have to. I will go in and test your nonsense. And I will give you feedback. And I will help you to improve the quality of your games. It'll be my pleasure because I love your games. I cannot help you if you don't ask for the help. And I know you guys got defensive and started to say how you have this 1%. That's not how it works. I mean, if you gave me that report on your QA report that you only had a 1% failure, there was this lady, coworker of mine. We had these regulatory requirements, and there were 10 of them. She satisfied 9 of them. And so she gave a report to our executive vice president that she had a 90% compliance rate. Because from her perspective, she satisfied 9 of those regulatory requirements. And I guess technically that is true, except in our industry, we are concerned about the volume of product impacted. And that final one that she was not in compliance with impacted 100% of all of our product. 100%. So she was 0% compliant because every single product violated this particular compliance issue. Or we don't ever say violated in the industry. We just say is at risk for compliance. The point is, the lady was off her schnoz. She tried to hoodwink our executive vice president, who believed her until the rest of us stepped in and said, "Nuh-uh, that's not how this works." You don't hoodwink people with, "Hey, look at my 90% compliance rate." If the error affects 100% of the product, you are 0% compliant. Because that means any audit that would come along is going to catch this. And I know in our particular industry, the vice president was assuming that 90% of our product volume was fine. It was just 10% that we were at risk. And the assumption he made was the wrong assumption. So when you start to say only 1% of our cards has an issue, but those issues are bad, then you can't brag about that. And if some of the issues are so easy to see or spot, you can't brag about that because it just means you were, and I don't mean to be accusatory, but it means you were lazy. And I'm assuming, because I talk with Dean Brown a lot, he doesn't share the insider of the industry that much with me, because I'm trying to not, neb into his business. I mean, he's a friend, first and foremost. He does share with me that the problem is you agree to a card, this is your initial design. So I'll just give you a simple example. The initial design is that this should have a +3 on it. But then they do some play testing and they realize that this is too powerful. So it needs to be reduced to a 1. So now they got to go in and change all their rule books and everything that's been written to remove the 3 and replace it with a 1. That's how the errors get introduced. It's not that some moron never looked at the card. And I think some people assume that. What happens is that it was something and it was correct. But then, last minute design changes changed it. And then they tried to go in and update all the documentation everywhere that this is mentioned, and they missed a few. That's what's happening. It's the iterations. Like the cards were correct at some point. I bet they did have 80 plus targets. So this campaign sheet, there probably was 80 plus targets in the original design. Dan Verson might have come back to the designer and said, hey, adding those extra cards is going to, cause us to pay for another sheet. And we need to, or it could have just been, we need to reduce the card prints by 1 sheet, which I don't know, a sheet might have 80 cards to it or whatever, or maybe 12. I don't know. I don't produce board games. But they had to reduce a sheet. So they had to go through their components and take away 12 of something. Well, so they took away a few event cards. They might have, and then they decided to take away, some target cards. And it looks like, maybe 5 or 6 target cards are missing. Because that goes up to 80 something. That's probably what they did, is they took away the target cards. Those target cards were in the original design. They probably had it all planned out. But because of the printing costs, they needed to reduce it by 1 sheet to hit their pricing target. That is a real world type of decision that the designers have to deal with. And chances are they agreed to take out those target cards, but then forgot to update this campaign sheet and the other one. They got all the other ones. Like they probably fixed it in 12 different places, but then they forgot these 2. So it's not as simple as, hey, these guys are just schlubbing along and making mistakes. They probably really did have it correct, but then last minute changes burned them. But in the manufacturing world, which I am very familiar with, you understand that that's human nature and that happens. And so what we call that? It's called a change control process. You have a rigorous change control process. The rigid ones I hate. I try to always change those. We do have rigid ones too, but they're not enjoyable. But a change control process is, okay, we're making a change to the system, so these are the things we need to go through. And it's like flying an aircraft. They have a checklist that they go through before they take off. They go through another checklist before they land. Pilots go through lots and lots of checklists as they fly planes. Why? Because there's a lot of things you can forget. And so the checklist is a reminder, because you've got live human beings in the back of your plane. You don't want to forget an important step. This is a board game. This isn't like, no one's life is at stake. I get why you guys cut this corner. But in the industries where this matters, implantable pacemakers and defibrillators, where people's lives are at hand, change control is everything. And I come from a world where change control, like right now, my current industry, change control is loosey-goosey because I come in with all this rigorous background, and I'm teaching my coworkers. Even 14 years later, I'm still teaching people how to implement proper change control. The IT people get it. They have good change control because IT knows they got to do it for their systems. But I'm talking like business processes. Like, somebody changes a business process, you need good change control. And so DVG, you need good change control. And change control starts with a checklist. If we make changes to a design, or we get feedback from the printer that this is going to cost us extra, so now we got to cut things out of the game that we originally intended to be in. That's a change. And that initially causes the change control process to trigger. And then you just start at step 1 and you go to step X. And you go through each one, checking the things that you need to check. And people like Sarah and Ben are more than capable of doing those checks. It's just that they have to do the checks and they have to be told to do the checks. And you got to be patient enough to wait for them to do the checks. Or you can even have somebody like YouTube Jeff to help you do those checks. So you guys need a change control process. That's the thing. Now, Board Game Geek is toxic. A lot of people, I think, have been warring with some of these designers. The designer of this game, I don't even know who he is. I don't even remember. And they don't have it on the rule book, which is really interesting. Like, they say who the cover art is, but I don't see who the designer is. I know Ben is the co-designer of this plus Fulcrum. And I don't know what Ben's role was. Because I don't think he was the key designer. The other guy was the key designer. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm insulting Ben by saying that, and I apologize. But my impression was Ben was more the DVG guy, and the other designer was actually the one doing most of the research. Because these games do require a lot of research, and you guys do a fantastic job of looking up the real, what the real planes were and how historical. And then, of course, you guys have to make a lot of concessions because you don't want to be completely historically accurate, because then the game just gets burdened with a bunch of unnecessary pieces. There's so many things and compromises you guys have to make that I really appreciate. And I know some people don't. But again, I don't even remember who the designer is, but he did a great job. I honestly believe that a lot of this stuff was 100% correct when he submitted it to DVG. But then as they started to print it and calculate the costs and maybe even like when stretch goals were being met, right? They had an initial design, but then stretch goals were happening, and now they have to add things to the game. All of those things are changes. Change control process, remember? Change control. So it's just my long-winded way of saying I love you guys, and I want you to succeed. And the people who are fighting the designers, I really wish they would stop too. I get it that you're frustrated and you're upset. I mean, this is an expensive game. Like I mentioned, if you go to DVG's website, this is a $430 game with all the expansions. That's a lot of money. This is a long way from the days when you used to be able to buy a war game for $20 and it would arrive in a baggie. If you pay $430 for a game, you expect high quality. And I'm going to bring up a competitor, but GMT makes high quality games. In fact, they're impeccable. I don't like their rulebook sometimes, but I do love how everything is referenced. Their playbooks, I just hate the playbooks, but you can't argue with how impeccable they are. They cover almost every rule. There's hardly ever an exception that they failed to think about. So whoever their person is that comes up with the writing, that person's amazing. And the player aids are usually very good. It's just a great... GMT is a great company. And I want to support them too. I just, when I buy a GMT game, it's just like, man, the rules are thicker than my wrist. So anyways, getting back to this, they are proof that it can be done because they do it. And they have great components. Everything about them is great. The DVG components have improved immensely compared to the first DVG game I ever bought. Had horrible components. But everything is good. The price, I'm not complaining about the price until I see all the errors. Then I'm complaining about the price. And I think that's where these people are coming from who are upset. But yeah, them, insulting the designer. So Mr. Glover did Fulcrum Leader. I'm familiar with him because he's been posting on DVG a lot with questions about Eagle Leader. So I think it's really cool that he's playing Eagle Leader and has questions about it. And it's also funny because, those of us assume that, hey, both of you guys designed these two games together, but it's true. You guys didn't design them together. And so, one didn't know what the other person was doing. And that's fine. I mean, it makes total sense now that I think about it. But I'm very familiar because he's been asking a lot of questions about the rules on DVG. Why is he asking those questions? Because they're not in the rule book. One of them in particular was, why is dispersed mentioned, but there was no weapons or munitions that had dispersed keyword on them because they took it off of the Maverick. And, I remember that was one of the things I had to explain to him. And then the other one was the fixed. Like, what's the point of fixed? It was because there were certain GBUs that could only hit fixed targets. Well, those GBUs aren't even in this game. So it's sort of like a keyword that carried over from Hornet Leader that makes no sense. But anyways, I know that was a bit of a rant. And all of it is to say is I want DVG to succeed. I want more games like this. And I don't like seeing people getting so disgruntled that they won't buy games like this anymore. And you know what? I was one of them. I didn't buy certain games. Now, Huey Leader, I am not backing Huey Leader because Huey Leader just seems like a dumb concept to me. Why do I want to be a transport helicopter that at best might have a machine gun on it? Might. Maybe I'm missing something here and I got to read more about it, but I just don't know why I would want that. And then people come up with these weird ideas, like they want a weasel leader. I don't want a weasel leader. That makes no sense. There's wild weasels in multiple games now. I get the idea. If anything, I want a stealth leader. I want an F-35 leader. That's, if you ask me what I want that. I want 5th gen fighters represented in a leader game. That would be amazing. And I know that a lot of it is electronic warfare, things of that nature. I get it. That's why I want it. Anyways, I am looking forward to Fulcrum Leader. I have always been open and honest that I don't like the idea of controlling Russians. But Fulcrum Leader, I read the rulebook because they had it online available. And I loved it. I loved what they did with it. So I want to try it. And I think that they did some really neat deviations. The designer has reached out to me, Mr. Glover, and he told me that they introduced this idea of an intruder, which completely changes the rules. And I do recall that because I saw it in the rulebook, but I have to confess I skipped over it because I was like, well, I'll worry about that when I get there. When I get Fulcrum, we're going to do a regular campaign before I try the fancy stuff. Like, I did see that they had like this Arctic expansion where when you're going over the Arctic, they fly like at ultra high altitude. Like, that's a whole new concept. Like, here we have low versus high. They have low, high, and ultra high. They do a lot of cool little twists. That's what I want to see in a leader game. Like, the stuff that they added is the kind of stuff I'm looking forward to. So do I have to play Ruskies to get it? I guess so. So I'll do that. Do I wish Eagle Leader had some of it? Sure, I do. But I like what Eagle Leader did. That's the thing. I don't hate it. This game has aces and experimental, whereas Fulcrum did not. It was focused more on the different regions that was in the Warsaw Pact, and of course the Arctic. Going over the Arctic to of course invade North America or whatever, hunting for oil or protecting oil fields. I can't remember what the reason was. So all of this is to say, change control, folks. Change control. I really, really want this all to succeed. And I am not angry at all with DVG. I just wish I want to help them. And that's it. I'll do it for free. I just, if you give me the ability to have a game early, or maybe give me a free game, I'll take it. But I'll do it for free. I just really want to help you guys have good games. Because they are good games. Anyways, that's enough ranting for now. Thanks for watching. And this concludes our 4th campaign. And I do think that removing the aces was the right call, just to add that to the mix. This made the campaign a lot harder. And I did an expert difficulty, so I'm feeling really good. I do like the variety in these campaigns. The campaigns do feel different from each other. This particular one, having to check the type of plane and then replacing it with a yak, I think made it easier. Like, that made the game a lot easier. So it had expert difficulty written on it, but it really wasn't that hard. The part that was hard was getting the great rating, because, yeah, you can't do it. Anyways, thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.